Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Revenge of the Vampire by Keith Martin. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 89. Let's reread this paragraph as a reminder. As you set off on your way, the skies darken and peals of thunder can be heard coming from the north. Dark clouds scatter across the sky and the wind lashes into your face. You almost have to close your eyes against the dust and dirt being blown into your face, so the first you know about the impending danger is when a giant raven pecks at your neck. Fortunately, it is only a glancing blow. Deduct 1 point from your stamina. Let's do that now. Puts my stamina down to 6. If you are walking, fight normally. If you are on horseback, it is hard for you to control your horse and swing a sword at the same time. Subtract 1 from your attack strength. If you wish to, you can dismount and fight normally, but you must lose 2 more stamina points as the ravens attack you while you are getting to the ground. First giant raven, skill 7, stamina 6. Second giant raven, skill 7, stamina 6. If you win, did you fight on horseback for the entire combat? If you did, 10 to 162, otherwise 10 to 118. Now, it doesn't state whether we're fighting them together or one at a time. I'll assume we're fighting them together because it states as the ravens attack you, so I'll assume we're doing it at the same time. Okay, let's do that then. So first giant raven and second giant raven. There we go. Skill 7, stamina 6. And second giant raven. Skill 7, stamina 6. There we go. Okay, so we have to fight, well, we have to do attack strength for both of them. If either of them defeats me in attack strength, then I receive a blow. If I defeat both of them, then I can only attack one of them, and I choose whom to attack. So let's do that now. Okay, so my skill is 11, his is 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14, and I get 20. So 14 to 20 for the first one. But now I have to do the second raven, giant raven. 7 plus 7 is 14, I get 14. Now this is interesting. I'm going to assume that because this was equal, I can't get a blow on them because they both have to beat. My attack strength has to beat both of them, so no one gets hurt there. Anyway, 7 plus 8 is 15. I get 19, so 15 to 19. Second one is 7 plus 6 is 13. I get 15. So 13 to 15, that means I beat both of them. That means I can choose whom to attack, and I will attack this one. Put them down to 4. 7 plus 8 is 15. I get 18. So 15 to 18. Seven plus 7 is 14. I get 23. So 14 to 23. That means I win, and that puts them down to 2. 7 plus 6 is 13. I get 20. So 13 to 20. Seven plus 5 is 12. I get 18. So 12 to 18. And that defeats the first giant raven. So now I'm only concentrating on the second one. So it's a normal battle. 7 plus 6 is 13. I get 23. So 13 to 23. Puts them down to 4. 7 plus 3 is 10. I get 17. So 10 to 17. Puts them down to 2. 7 plus 8 is 15. I get 21. So 15 to 21, and that's the end of, whoops, wrong one, puts them down to 0. 15 to 21. So that is the end of Mr. Second Giant Raven and Mr. First Giant Raven. So they're both defeated, and that's that. Now, seeing as I've defeated them, I'm going to use some provisions. Let's use a load. So 11 puts me down to 11, and puts my stamina up to 10. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Possibly remove the buzzing. I don't know if there is any that you can hear, but I'll get rid of it. I don't have my earphones in. I'm using the my laptop microphone built in to do this, because it's quite good. Anyway, so we were not on horseback, we were on foot, so we are turning to 118. Here we are. Your horse, if you had one, has bolted. From now on, you have to go on foot. This loses you time. Lose 1 blood point. Nice to know the animal was loyal, at least. So we're down to 10 blood points. Also, if you have Bloodbane, you must subtract 1 from each of your current and initial stamina scores. Turn to 162. Okay, so we're turning to 162. I don't have Bloodbane. Anyway, there must be still quite some way to go to Heydrich's mansion house. If Henrik's sketch map is anything like accurate. After a long day's journeying, you must now eat another meal. Okay, so I have to eat and not gain any stamina points because of it. So it puts me down to 10 provisions. You decide to put in another hour or so of travel before the last day of the daylight fades. And you notice that the road ahead of you is growing very misty and foggy. Strangely enough, the woodland to either side of the road does not appear to be covered by the thick mist at all. You don't like the look of this. Will you continue ahead through the mist, turn to 223, go to your right through the woods, turn to 272, or go to your left through the woods, turn to 308? Okay, we are going to go to our left through the woods and turn to 308. So let's go to 308. Here we go. Sounds of yelling and snarling can be heard coming from the woods to your left. You creep silently towards the source of the noise and come upon a man. Oops. Trying to keep at bay a pair of heavy-muzzled, thick-furred wolves that are circling him and snarling. Beside the man lie the body of a warrior and 3 wolf corpses too. The man doesn't look much of a warrior and is clearly desperately frightened. He has only a knife for self-defense, and the wolves look set to finish him off easily. If you want to go to his aid, turn to 396. If you decide not to fight the wolves but continue through the woods and return to the trail beyond the mist patch, turn to 15. If you decide to hang around and see what happens, turn to 86. Okay, we're going to go to his aid, of course, and turn to 396. Was there any other thing that we could do, really? You must fight the wolves one at a time. First wolf, skill 6, stamina 7. Second wolf, skill 6, stamina 7. Let's do that first, then read the paragraph. Alright, I need some more things, don't I? Lots of battles in this one. There we go. Okay, so first wolf. It was skill 7 and stamina 6. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember now. No, 6, 7. Yeah, I was right. I was right to check. It did seem a bit dodgy. 6, 7. And we're fighting them one at a time, so it's a bit easier than the ravens. And second wolf. Skill 6, stamina 7. Okay, off we go. Yep, so his skill is 6. Off we go. 6 plus 9 is 15. I get 20, so 15 to 20. Puts them down to 5. 6 plus 8 is 14. I get 19, so 14 to 19. Puts them down to 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. I get 18. So 9 to 18. Put them down to 1. And then 6 plus 6 is 12. I get 23. So 12 to 23. Put them down to 0. There we are. Okay, now for the second wolf. 6 plus 5 is 11. I get 18. So 11 to 18. Whoops, didn't put the stamina down there. 6 plus 8 is 14. I get 18, so 14 to 18. Puts them down to 3. 6 plus 4 is 10. I get 20, so 10 to 20. Puts them down to 1. 6 plus 8 is 14. I get 20, so 14 to 20. And that's the end of the wolves. Goodbye, Mr. First Wolf and Mr. Second Wolf. They're dead. Okay, get rid of the buzzing if there is any. I don't know. I can't hear because I don't have my earphones in. Okay, here we are. If you win, the man is deeply grateful to you. He tells you that he is a merchant making for the market village of Farley, which lies to the northeast along the road. I brought a bodyguard with me, he says sadly, looking at the dead warrior. We left the road when we saw that mist. Didn't like the look of it at all. Roban, as he introduces himself, asks you if you will help him bury the man and then accompany him to Farley. He says he will pay you for your protection when he arrives at the village. If you are prepared to help him bury his friend, this takes time. You'll lose 1 blood point, but you will gain 1 faith point for this action. Then you set off once more. With Roban in tow, turn to 148. Okay, we're going to help him bury his friend, so we're going to get the faith point and lose a blood point. So we've lost a blood point, 9, but we've gained a faith point, so that puts us up to 10. Okay, and we are going to 148. Here we go. Okay. Exhausted, you reach the village of Farley at last. You are desperate for sleep and food. If you have a merchant with you, he will pay for a room at the Goblin Hunter. Okay, you will pay for a room at the Goblin Hunter, the best inn in the place. If you have arrived alone, you will have to pay 1 gold piece to stay here. Okay, we have a merchant with us, so we don't have to pay us. We have Roban with us. I'll just write down that we have Roban with us, actually. So, information. We have Roban with us. I'll say Roban the merchant. If you don't have any money, or if you won't pay, you can sleep rough, but you must eat a meal. If you arrived on horseback, by now your mount is getting fatigued and restless, and is in no fit shape for further travel. You can sell him here for 5 gold pieces. After rest, so I can't do that. After resting, will you talk to the merchant whose life you saved, turn to 216. Buy some supplies or equipment, turn to 283. Try to find out if there is a sage or scholar here who may be helpful to you, turn to 373. Continue on your way northeastwards, turn to 198, or make for another area away from Farley, turn to 304. Okay, we are going to talk to the merchant whose life we saved. So we're going to turn to 216, which is 6 cubed. Alright. Seven cubed is 343, and 5 cubed is 125. Brilliant. Okay, what is the merchant's name? If you know it, convert the letters of his name into numbers using the code A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, ... Z equals 26. Add together the numbers corresponding to the letters in his name, then double the total. Turn to the paragraph with this number. If you don't know his name, return to 148 and make another choice. Okay, his name is Roban. Now, R. Okay, so I know N is 14, so that means O is 15, P is 16, Q is 17, R is 18. So R is 18. So I have 18. I'll use a calculator here because I can't be bothered to do it in my head. Okay, I just said O was 15, so that's plus 15. B is 2, so that's plus 2. A is 1, so that's add 1. And N is 14, as I said. So I always remember that. That's how I do this. I always remember N is 14. Anyway, yeah, so I'm adding those together. So 18 plus 15 plus 2 plus 1 plus 14 equals a grand total of 50. Okay, then we're going to double the total, which is 100. So 50 times 2 is 100. And we're turning to paragraph 100. That was fun, wasn't it? Okay. So we're turning to 100. Off we go. Roban gives you 5 gold pieces and buys you some food for your journey ahead. Add 3 to your provisions. That's quite good. So we've got 5 extra gold, that's 18, and we have 3 more provisions. That puts us up to 13. Brilliant. That's nice of him. Although we did save his life, so that seems fair enough. Anyway, he wishes you well, although a good deed is its own reward, as we all know. So that's that. He wishes you well, and while he doesn't want to pry, asks if there is any other help you need. You hesitate for a moment, then you say that you have come from a monastery where there has been much trouble. You are seeking the cause of that trouble. This is true, of course, but it doesn't give too much away. You mention the names of the elders of the monastery, and he rubs his chin thoughtfully. There are no monks or monasteries here, he says, but there is a scholar here who, I believe, spent some time at Lake Libra, and who may well know something of use to you. His name is Harquhar, and you can find him at the Golden Goose. He's quite sociable for a scholar. You thank Roban for his help. Now, will you buy some supplies or equipment? Turn to 283. Try to find out if there is a sage or scholar here who may be helpful to you. Turn to 373. Continue on your way northeastwards. Turn to 198. Make for the Golden Goose Tavern. Turn to 123. Or leave the village altogether. Turn to 304. Okay. So we're going to write down that we're looking for Harquhar at the Golden Goose. So new line, I think. Look for Harquhar. Whoops, that's a W. Harquhar at the Golden Goose Inn. I think it's an inn anyway. I assume it is. Okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to buy some supplies or equipment. So let's turn to 283. Very evil looking creature there. Where's 283? There it is. Okay, you can buy many items in Farley. This is a market village after all. Or this is a market village after all. Make your purchases from the list below and alter rather your adventure sheet accordingly. Food, 2 provisions, 1 gold piece. 10 yards of rope, 1 gold piece. Garlic, 1 string, 1 gold piece. Belladonna, lycanthropy cure, and also highly toxic compound from deadly nightshade. What does it do? It either speeds up your heart or slows it down. I can never remember. Anyway, yeah, don't eat deadly nightshade. Anyway, Belladonna, lycanthropy cure. That's werewolf, because the adjective for wolf is lysine or lysine. Yeah, lysine. Like for pig related is porcine. Or no, yeah, lysine. I don't know, lysine, whatever. And bear related is ursine. And cow related is bovine. And obviously, dog is canine and cat is feline. But yeah, there's loads of them. Anyway, yeah, lycanthropy cure, 5 gold pieces. Herbal cure for lung rot, 4 gold pieces. That's if you smoke. Herbal cure for bloodbane, 4 gold pieces. Gallbane, 1 vial, 3 gold pieces. Silver stake and mallet, 5 gold pieces. Climbing boots for hill climbing, 4 gold pieces. Potion of stamina, 7 gold pieces. Potion of luck, 4 gold pieces. Flask of herbal liqueur, 2 gold pieces. Anti-venom, 1 vial, 4 gold pieces. Silver mirror, 3 gold pieces. Magic sword, 15 gold pieces. And longbow and quiver of arrows, 5 gold pieces. Belladonna will cure lycanthropy if you have it. Consuming belladonna means you will have to lose 2 stamina points from the effects of the poison, however. If you have bloodbane and you cure it now, you may restore your initial stamina score to its full value. Gallbane can be smeared on a sword and will allow you to add 2 points to your attack strength in a combat against any kind of ghoul. A ghoul is a mythical being that eats corpses. It's also used as an insult for a grave robber because, by legend, a ghoul, the demon ghoul, will dig up graves and eat corpses. So there's an insult for grave robbers that you were a demon. Whereas, although they of course dug up graves to steal the jewelry that was buried with dead bodies, so an insult for a grave robber was a ghoul, but really a ghoul is a demon that eats dead bodies. Anyway, 1 vial contains enough for 3 applications. 1 application lasts for a single combat. You can smear it on your sword immediately before any fight with a ghoul of any kind. A potion of stamina, when drunk, restores lost stamina points equal to half your initial stamina score, rounding fractions down. A potion of luck restores 1 to 3 lost luck points. Roll 1 die and divide the number rolled by 2, rounding fractions up. A flask of liqueur restores 4 stamina points when drunk. Anti-venom will protect you from poison for 1 combat or encounter. The first after you have drunk it. If a paragraph instructs you... Sorry, what was that? Anti-venom. Yeah. The first after you have drunk it. If a paragraph instructs you to lose stamina from poison and you have drunk anti-venom, you lose no stamina. All these liquids can be drunk at any time except during combat. A magic sword adds 1 to your attack strength during combat. A longbow will allow you to fire arrows at enemies from a distance. Some paragraphs will offer you the option of using it when appropriate. When you have made your purchases, you can ask around to find a sage or scholar. If you haven't already done so, turn to 373, or you can continue on your way north-eastwards, turn to 198. Alternatively, if you want to make for another place whose name you know, turn to 304. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to sell the gold tassels. That's going to give us 5 gold pieces. So we're going to sell those gold tassels. So I'll just say sold to that man there. So gold tassels have now been sold. That gives us an extra 5 gold. That puts us up to 23. Okay, now we're going to buy a magic sword. So a magic sword is... I don't know, how much is a magic sword? It is 15 gold pieces. So take off 15 gold pieces. That puts us down to 8. But we now have a magic sword. So magic sword and parentheses +1 attack strength. Yep, +1 attack strength. So, yep, just type that in there. There we go. +1 attack strength. So whenever we fight, we have +1 attack strength. Okay, new line. Fiddle-dee-dee. Yeah, adds 1 to your attack strength during combat. That's during all combat. We also need 10 yards of rope. So let's buy 10 yards of rope. Oh, sorry, meters. Blech, my mouth was... I felt dirty there saying the horrors of the metric system. 10 yards of rope, 1 gold piece. So that puts us down to 7. So now we have 10 yards of rope. I'm actually going to write 10 yards of rope. Sue me. Speak to my solicitor. Anyway, 10 yards of rope. Yes, I know a meter is slightly more than a yard. Sue me. Okay. And that's taken off 1 gold piece, didn't it? Have I done that already? Yeah, it's put me down to 7. We also go... Excuse me, we're also going to buy the Gallbane. So the Ghoulbane is 1 vial, 3 gold pieces. So that puts us down to 4. And we have 1 vial of Ghoulbane. How does that work again? So Ghoulbane, blah 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 blah. Okay, so Ghoulbane can be smeared on a sword and will allow you in a combat, so 1 against any kind of ghoul. No, oh, sorry, 3 applications. So we've got 3 applications of, so we're just saying this, 3 applications, a semicolon, plus 2 attack strength. So that's that. I'll remember what that means. Good. Sword immediately before any fight with the ghoul. Yep, okay, good. Okay, so that's that. And that is that. That's all we're going to buy. So that's all we're going to buy. There we go. Okay. So now with that done, we are now going to ask around to find a sage or scholar. So turn to 373. You spend quite a bit of time asking around in the taverns of Farley, where the merchants and travellers are more concerned with enjoying themselves than with talking about sages. Lose 1 blood point. Puts us down to 8. Okay. Eventually, however, a young apprentice declares that it must be Harquhar whom you are seeking, and that he can be found in the Golden Goose. You make for the tavern. Turn to 123. Yep, 123. Off we go. The Golden Goose is a flashy place frequented by the well-to-do, and the guard standing at the door to keep riff-raff out looks like a half-troll. Certainly he doesn't care much for the look of you. You will have to bribe him with 1 gold piece to get in. If you pay up, turn to 52. If you can't or won't pay, will you buy some supplies or equipment, turn to 283, leave Farley and set off northeastwards after Heydrich, turn to 198, or leave Farley for some other area, turn to 304. Okay, we are going to bribe him, so minus 1 gold piece and turn to 52. Puts us down to 3. And we're going to 52. Here we go. I've done the thing again. There we are. At the bar, you ask politely where Harquhar may be found, and the landlord replies with obvious distaste, "Who's asking after him, then?" You give your name and add that you have come from Lake Libra, where there has been some trouble. The landlord clearly doesn't like the sound of that much, but he dispatches his lackey of a barman into the press of overdressed and noisy merchants and scribes who patronize this place. After a short time, you are directed to go to a far corner where a fat man swathed, I can't remember, swathed. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay, swathe is an acceptable pronunciation, or swath. So I'm going to say swathe like I originally thought it was. Okay, can't remember where I was now. Here we are. After a short time, you are directed to go to a far corner where a fat man swathed in rich pastel-coloured silks sits slurping a bright blue drink. Harquhar stretches out a pudgy paw towards you and orders you to sit down in a high-pitched squeak. You don't like the look of him at all. He blathers about nothing in particular for ages and is really a time waster. Finally, exasperated, you announce that most of the monks of the Halls of the Stars have been destroyed by a vampire, and that I don't know why vampire is capitalized, and that either he can help you find out why and give you some help, or else you are leaving. At once he looks serious and says, "Come and see me tomorrow morning. I have a house with a blue roof next to Orchard Square." Orchid Square, whatever. There he is. Oh, he is well to do, isn't he? Blimey. Reminds me of Hedonistic Bot, Hedonism Bot from Futurama, a little bit. Anyway, except he's not a robot. Anyway, if you are prepared to wait and waste a whole night, lose 1 blood point. You can stay in an inn, which costs 1 gold piece, or sleep rough, you must eat a meal. If you have bloodbane, the the delay causes you to lose 1 point from both your initial and current stamina, 10 to 369. If you won't wait, it's too late to buy any equipment now. You can either leave, going north eastwards, 10 to 198, or uh, make for, here we are, make for another place away from Farley, 10 to 304. Or you could follow Harquhar to his house, 10 to 246. Okay. Okay, we are going to follow Harquhar to his house and 10 to 246. You leave the Golden Goose and hang about outside. Minutes later, the fat sage emerges and waddles off towards Orchid Square. He unlocks his front door, and if you were thinking of forcing an entry, you change your mind when you see the size of the enormous bodyguard lurking in the hallway. Reason tells you you should go back to an inn to get some rest and food, but for no good reason of which you can think, you stay here for a few minutes longer. Outside an upstairs window of the house, where a light inside shows that someone has just lit a lamp, a misty haze begins to form. As you peer at it, the mist takes the shape of a bizarre tendrilled creature which strikes the window with a disgusting plop. The horror simply dissolves the glass away and flaps into the room beyond. Will you climb up the wall to get to the upstairs room? Turn to 341. Hammer on the front door of the house. Turn to 37. Leave and come back tomorrow to see what has happened. Turn to 369. Decide you don't like this at all and leave Farley, heading northeastwards. Turn to 198. Or leave Farley for another area altogether. Turn to 304. Okay, and we will decide what to do in the next video. So on paragraph 246, let's write that down and save and close. And in the next video, we will be deciding what to do. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part, and I've left you on a bit of a cliffhanger there. Thanks again, and goodbye.